Hello and welcome to the Purpose Pursuit podcast with me, Hannah Miller, joined by my friend
Laura McClellan.
Hello again.
Hello.
I am very pleased to have you back with me because it's more fun having someone to chat to.
You're very welcome.
This podcast is going out a week before the book comes out.
Yes.
Just to clarify, if you're not bored of me saying this, the book is available for pre-order now.
Yes.
When we're saying the book comes out, we mean actually people's books will be arriving. They will be on shelves. Mm-hmm. It is book week, as in the 4th of December is the first week of actual
copies in hands. The book is out.
And we are a week before that right now.
Yeah.
It is the end of November.
It is.
Which means we are heading into winter.
Jingle bells, jingle bells.
Is that your favourite carol? That's not a carol.
It's absolutely not. It's just the first one that came to my head.
We are heading into legitimate Christmas season.
In the bleak midwinter.
We are. We are heading into winter. End of November. Autumn is going. Yeah. Winter is coming. Mm-hmm. How seasonally affected are you feeling?
I'm feeling so seasonally affected right now.
By that I mean, do you get winter low or not really?
I think so, but I try my best to make it as cosy and Christmassy as possible.
And you continue to fake tan as if you had been on a foreign holiday.
I'm not coming on here again if this is how I'm treated.
My dad is seriously seasonally affected, really? And I am a bit. I found, though, last year I was religious about vitamin D.
Yeah.
Religious. Yeah. And definitely helped. Definitely helped. Even if it helped as a, what's it called?
Placebo.
Yes. Even if it helped as that. But I actually don't think it did. I actually think it did. And I wasn't as ill.
Ooh.
I've already had about 400 colds this year because I have not been religious about vitamin D, but I am being it now.
Yeah, I've even bought the little spray too.
Yeah, good. Because why do you have to have a... By the way, vitamin D apparently is best taken as a spray. Medics tell me.
Because of absorption.
But you would be good to have all of your vitamins in a spray, wouldn't you, Laura? And why is this?
I can't swallow tablets, Hannah.
Swallow tablets. So, Laura, I do give the impression to you regularly how amazing Laura is, but there are little chinks.
The reality.
There are little chinks, and one of those is that she's mid-20s and still has to have Calpol.
Out of a syringe, strawberry flavour. It's so yum, honestly.
It is yum, I would agree with that, but so it does really limit your ability. And how do you take your other vitamins, Laura?
Gummy
bear.
They taste nice too.
Yeah, okay. I bet they're not as good.
They're definitely not as good,
no.
Especially because some bits get stuck in your teeth and then it's not absorbed at all. So I get half a dose.
So you, going back to the original point about seasonal affectedness, you make sure you get cosy and try to stop that from happening.
Yeah, and I think
I said...
Vitamin D.
We
kind of spoke last year because we talked about that book Wintering.
Oh, yeah.
About... Oh, yeah. We spoke about kind of embracing it a little bit.
Yeah.
And it does help, I think, it is not the summer. There's not going to be summer vibes.
No.
How can you make the best out of it?
Especially if we can't go on a summer holiday.
Yeah, it is hard when you go to work and it's black. You come back and it's pitch black.
Yeah, and you just feel like all you're doing is being in the dark.
Yeah.
And the sun comes out for a moment and you just literally want to I just want to get my face in it. I definitely think I get a bit low, but I am really trying hard. And I do think, like you say, just recognising this is what it is, not in a kind of negative-y, giving up-y way, but actually this is winter, this is what winter is, can be really helpful. What do you like the best out of the seasons?
Well, I just think I like extreme weather. But not in terms of really
extreme weather. You like extreme weather, but not in terms of extreme weather.
Not that extreme. I just mean I hate in between weather. So I hate when it's... it's just classic British weather, but I hate when it's a little bit rainy, but then it's a bit sunny at the same time, and then it's a bit cloudy and a bit windy, and then it goes a bit hot. I absolutely despise that. I'd rather it be absolute Arctic conditions or very, very hot. I really find it hard.
Okay, but can I just ask you what you mean by very, very hot?
About 25.
All right, that's not extreme or very, very hot.
It feels extreme to me. Otherwise, I just feel claustrophobic if it's too hot.
Okay, so where have you recently been, which was extreme? Have you ever?
Menorca.
Which is not extreme.
It's not extreme.
Which is not extreme
but
weather.
Do you know, actually, the humidity was about 90%. It felt like you couldn't breathe. It was really, I promise, it was hot. It was very hot. And actually, that was a bit too hot for me.
Right.
I have to think
so
about...
when you say you like extremes...
I'm just
also,
kidding.
you don't really like extreme cold.
No, I don't.
And you want it to be proper Arctic. I'm like, no, you don't.
I don't. No, I don't.
No, you don't.
Okay.
Maybe you mean you don't want it to be having like a identity crisis season.
If it's going to be hot, be hot. If it's going to be cold, be cold.
But you don't be... But not massively hot or massively cold.
I'm not making much sense.
No, but I think I get where you're coming from. Be the season. Don't be extreme
Stay
about it.
in your lane, weather.
Stay in your lane.
That's how I feel.
Fair enough. I think you haven't asked me.
No, Hannah, what's your favourite season?
You don't care about my opinions. I don't know. If it's like a lovely, sunny, crisp, leafy day, those are lovely.
I love those ones too.
But I love like a sunny day. I love a sunny day. I really do. And I think if I had to take extreme weather, I think I'd take extreme heat.
If you could have one season all year round, summer.
Yeah, or late spring.
Like May time.
Yeah, May, June. June.
Though June is kind of more summery than August, I find.
Yeah, but it's nice. It's more predictable.
Yeah. I love when you can go out.
Got married in June.
Oh, happy anniversary.
I'm saying that because I chose June because normally it's not as hot. It's not as hot as the rest of summer.
Yeah.
But it's more steady.
No, it is.
And predictably sunny.
You know what?
Yeah. It was extreme weather on my wedding day. And I came out of the church like a sweaty sweat bag. It was terrible. My mum had really prayed we'd have a sunny day and she totally overdid it.
She prayed too much.
I was sweaty. Me and Sam just as shiny on all the photos and looked like we're withering. So it's not a good idea to have extreme weather on your wedding day, and I had it. And you're wearing a massive dress with about 400 layers.
That's true. It's very heavy.
Very heavy. And I actually came out of the church and the first thing I did was lift up my dress and floof it like this to try and get some air.
Oh.
I know. I actually was also nearly sick on the way to church because of the heat. Being in one of those smooth Jaguar type cars.
Oh my goodness.
And it was so hot.
And nerves, maybe.
Nerves, yeah, a bit of nerves, definitely. My hand was wobbly. Anyway, seasons is what we were going to talk about. And it's Christmas, and have you bought me a Christmas present yet?
I've bought you so many Christmas
That's
presents.
A lie.
I haven't thought yet. In my family, there's lots of birthdays in October, November, so I can't think yet. But
what do you think of people who've organised their Christmas already?
They can get in the bin.
They can get in the bin. Do you have friends that are like that, who are uber early Christmasers? That's not a word.
In fact, my mother-in-law has already, because we're recording this a little bit earlier in November, she was on the phone the other day and said that she's basically sorted everyone's Christmas presents.
She wrapped them?
Already, yeah. She's amazing, though. And she does the most thoughtful gifts, honestly. Do you know what? That is one of my goals in life, is to be a thoughtful gift giver. I'm trying my absolute best. And I feel like I'm growing a little bit. Yeah. But I'm so pants at presents in general. I was saying to my sister the other day that how do you buy a present for someone who you feel like, I just want to get you so much and you deserve so much and I think so much of you, and I'm like, here is a pair of socks and a pack of Maltesers. Like I'm so uncreative when it comes to presents.
You need to list. Jude writes notes, so when people say things through the year, he'll make a note, not just of something they've said they want, but like something they've said they like.
Ooh, well, do you know what? I've seen something that was suggested to me for your Christmas present, and it's actually very thoughtful, so I'm really proud of myself.
Is it?
It's really niche, very niche and thoughtful, which is my goal. I'm trying to be better.
Niche and thoughtful.
Yeah.
Excellent. I think this is a niche and thoughtful Christmas gift here.
Oh, nice segue,
For the
Hannah.
purposes of the podcast, I'm holding up my book. It's a lovely book present.
I love the cover of it.
Thank
you.
I
love the words inside.
It's a lovely size.
Yes, it's an amazing price point as well.
It could change the gift receiver's life.
It could. In fact, it's a gift that just keeps on giving.
And a book is a great present because that person can pass on that gift in the future.
A book is for life, not just for Christmas.
It is. Thanks for that, Laura. I'd like a puppy for Christmas.
Oh, no, we can never replace Pat.
I don't want to replace her. I want a continuity dog.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh.
I know. Just
That's a sad thought.
Again, Pax is not that old.
No.
She's midlife. We don't put midlife out to pasture. But I have said to Sam several times, I can't bear the thought of being without a dog.
Yeah.
And I think my guest producer is trying not to laugh. A continuity dog is essentially to bridge that gap. And so Pax is not so old that she becomes very grumpy about a puppy. You were probably a bit grumpy about when Hannah came along.
No comment.
Hannah's Laura's little sister.
No,
How many years?
6 years.
Yeah, and I bet you adored that.
I absolutely adored
And
her.
my sister
I still
did as
do.
well. 8 years with me and my sister.
Yeah.
She was more excited than anything.
Although apparently 2 weeks into Hannah being born.
Did you say, is she going back?
Almost. Like Mom was breastfeeding. Apparently I walked in and I just went, when's that going to stop then? And Mom was absolutely gobsmacked. Apparently she just went to my dad. You would not believe what Laura just said to me. And it came from nowhere. And I don't think I ever said anything
it did tie your mum up a bit.
Yeah.
And you were
I was so used to having her all to myself for 6 years.
I know.
So
You could have been quite a selfish person.
maybe I am.
It's a good job Hannah came along to stop that. So anyway, what has I got to do with anything? Continuity dogs. I'd love a dog for Christmas. Spoiler alert, I'm not getting one because Sam is absolutely no. No, he says we can't have another dog. A, finance. B, we're too busy. C, no, basically.
Oh.
Levi's done the whole, neither of my brothers live at home anymore. I need a dog so that I don't have an emotional heartbreak.
Yeah.
I know. Sam is not falling for it. He says, you pick up the poos and then we'll talk about it, which of course Levi doesn't pick up the poos, so therefore we don't get there. So Christmas presents, I'm looking forward to my uber thoughtful niche present. Everyone listening, if you're worried, anyone in your life who you think is interested in living more purposefully, you can buy them the book. Great idea. I haven't bought you a Christmas present yet. Not a birthday either, because that's miles away. But I haven't got you a Christmas present yet. But I will try and think of something thoughtful nearer the time, which is probably nearly Christmas, because I can't do it yet either. I've got too much on my plate. I've got a book launch.
I mean, you're quite a big deal around these
I am quite a big deal at the moment.
Yeah.
But we did want to talk about seasons, actually.
We do, yes.
Because one of the things that's in the book that is not in the course and is newer material for me was part of the bit at the beginning where people are diagnosing where life is at and what life looks like, which I think is really important. One of the sections within that chapter looks at seasons. And sometimes people use the whole season language quite twee, don't they? I'm in a
season of singleness.
Season of singleness, or a season of reflection. I don't know, I'm making it up now, but people talk about seasons a lot. And it's a bit like fluffy and a bit metaphorical. So we're going to talk about seasons now. And we are going to use the metaphor of seasons, but we're going to try and ground it out so people can think about, what season are you in? Why do you think it's important for people to know what season they're in, Laura? Popular quiz. Come on.
I was about to ask you the same question,
Well,
Hannah.
why do you think?
It's good to know what season you're in so that you have expectations for what's happening at the moment.
Yes.
And
that's
how
a good
to actually
idea.
embrace what's happening in life and how to support yourself and feel like you can cope.
Yeah, because if you want life to be one perpetual season, which is kind of what I talk about in the book.
It's not realistic.
It's not realistic. And I think that's been a big learning curve for me. And I, as much as we've just said about you like extreme weather, which you don't, and then you said you don't, you just want seasons to be clear. Often we have a state that we would like to be in all the time. And for many people, that would metaphorically be summer. Like, even if they don't like extreme summer. But the idea of, wish summer could... Everyone goes, summer's come to an end.
Yeah.
Most people, apart from my friend Zoe, who goes, yay, summer's coming to an end.
Get the Christmas
tree up on the 1st of September. And most people are not like that. And I think we can get this thing that we we talk about seasons and people don't really know what they mean, but actually much of the time we just want to live in one season. And in reality, as much as I would love it to be summer all the time, I wonder what it would feel like if it was summer all the time. In much the same way what it would feel like if it was winter all the time.
Yeah.
Like, that's what happens in Narnia, isn't it? It's winter all the time.
That very realistic, grounded example of seasons.
The point is, it's lovely, but it shouldn't be winter all the time.
No.
And summer is lovely.
Yeah.
But if it was summer all the time, what would grow? Well, it couldn't keep growing.
Cactuses could grow.
Okay, cactuses could grow. Small numbers of things could grow. But it's not real.
No.
And that's kind of what the message is, as much as we're being a bit ridiculous. What I wrote in the book, and I'm just going to read this little bit. If we had constant summer, it would end up causing exhaustion, stagnation and unfulfilled potential, apart from in cactus. The same can be said about how we view our lives. I think it's appealing to most of us to have a life that could be metaphorically a continuous summer. All the best bits, the fruitfulness, the fun and the freedom, holidays, promotions, happiness, birthdays, and take a hard pass on all the daily grind, tears, redundancies, deaths, disappointments. But deep down, we know that's not a full life.
Yeah,
because actually, if you don't have any of those things...
How do you know what's good?
Yeah, how do you know what's good? And how do you appreciate the good things for what they are without recognising other things have to be let go? Like, you can't have a baby without having had a previous season that you no longer have anymore, which is that you have your own independence.
Yeah.
So you've got to let that go. You can't have a teenager that gets ready to go into uni if you haven't had the season before that. They all have to happen in order for the next one to be enjoyed. And so I thought we could just quickly talk through the 4 seasons as a metaphor, but what might that season look like? So let's start with spring.
Okay, my least favourite.
Is it? See, I love spring. I actually can go a little bit mental in March because I suddenly start saying, it's spring.
Yeah.
It's spring, it's spring, it's spring.
Winter's over.
Yeah, winter's over.
Summer's on the way.
Summer's on the way. That I think spring is the 21st of March. I've got it ingrained in my head. I think it's the 21st of March. And I'm like, it's spring today. It's official start. And I get very excited. Because why do you not like spring?
I just remember being at school and having to write the date at the top of your page before you work. I'd be like, oh, February. Oh, it's March.
February's
April.
not spring.
I know, but that whole first chunk of the year is such a drag, I think.
Really?
Maybe that's something I need to work on.
I think it is, because think it's bunnies. It's Easter.
I love Easter.
Oh,
I love chocolate eggs.
Literally the highlight of spring. So spring, okay, what do we think spring might signify? In my book, I talk about it being new beginnings, okay?
Yeah.
The winter is over and past. It's when you see, I get excited when I see a little crocus or a little budding bit of something in the ground and go, look at that. It's like a little sign of things are coming to fruition.
Yeah.
It's that, like, it might be when you're launching something. So if it's in your real life and not just the spring of your life, that could be new job, could be a new relationship. It could be a time of personal growth. It could be launching a project. It could be a new baby. That's kind of spring type things. In the book, I talk about this metaphor of a new home, and spring would be when you're like in that earlier renovation. So maybe when you've got the foundations in and you're starting to do the beginnings of the work in the house. So like this house we're sitting in, this was all an extension, and so when this is starting to take shape and you've got some walls and something to look at but it's not yet finished, that might be what spring feels like. Signs of life, fresh shoots, the bunny rabbits of your life are beginning to appear. And I think it's when you're like, I'm ready for something new, like I'm building this new thing, and it feels full of a lot of hope. I don't think you're in the fullness yet. Can you think of a springtime? Daylight's increasing as well at this time.
You're actually making it sound much more appealing than
I'm going to work on it
it
for you. When we get into the next year's spring, I'm going to be team spring.
Yeah. Well, I wonder whether spring in my own life is kind of setting up Pentheo with me and my sister, of taking it from a little idea and going, let's just see what happens, and kind of putting ourselves out there a little bit and letting the creativity flow.
Definitely. I think you're right. And spring for me at work might have been when we first, using the book as an example, when we first got the contract.
Yeah.
That would be the spring, because it's not yet all come to pass, but there's foundations in place, the groundwork's been done, the sample chapter's done, and there's signs of life.
Yeah.
And you are quite newly married, so you're kind of in the spring of that season.
The spring of our marriage.
The spring of your marriage. Go home and say that to David tonight, and he'll be like, oh, darling, that's lovely. So if you're in a spring, there is a promise of things to come, and you can see the signs of life. Like I said, new jobs, new beginnings, new seasons of parenting, new relationships. It's newness that now exists, but it isn't yet fully established, which leads us nicely into summer, which I call the season of growth and expansion. So think about summer. Summer is progress, productivity, it's energy, long days, lot can happen. If you're building a house, what would you be doing at this point? You're plastering the walls, decorating, things are really taking shape. You are seeing a full return on that investment. So a few years into a relationship, your children might be in what people call the golden years. It's like when children are just delightful, That's kind of like 6 to 12, I think, that kind of age, I think is what people talk about, the golden years. It's just wonderful.
Yeah.
They still go to bed, and you have a bit of time when they go to bed. They're not yet, wildly opinionated on the things that teenagers might be, and they're not early years either, and you're in that golden phase. You're in a work thing, it might be that you're quite established in your role. You're in a bit of a summer with work, would you say?
Definitely. I feel like I'm thriving a little bit.
Thriving?
Yeah, but in a nice way.
Yeah.
I've always enjoyed my work, but there's
Good
like
answer.
new... Thank you so much. I saved myself there. But I feel like I'm enjoying all the new things.
Yes.
And the whole book, like the book as a project and the book launch and everything, that's kind of spring into summer, I guess.
Yeah, I guess, definitely.
As something new, something that's grown me and you. But that's really fun, and I'm really enjoying everything. So yeah.
So there's still newness within it, but there's an establishment underneath it. There's a foundation that's really secure, and that's kind of what summers of life feel like. We love this. Like, there aren't many people that wouldn't be loving summers of life. And by the way, if you're listening to this podcast and you're reflecting, you could be in a summer at work, but you could feel like in your personal life you're in a winter. So this is not... Sometimes everything slots nicely into it's all the same season, but it could also be that in different parts of your life you feel differently. This is about when you're starting to get recognised for what you do. You've got some visibility, the hard work that you've put in's paying off. We feel seen, high energy, we're celebrating, we're in our lane, we feel good. And I've literally written in the book, no wonder we don't want this season to end. It's like that moment when you catch it and you think, feels like this all feels good. I guess if you're an athlete, it would be like being at the Olympics. And of course, you don't stay in that season, but no wonder you'd want to and keep doing that bit and maintain that as long as you can.
When have you had a summer?
I felt like, actually, I was thinking about this. The year I turned 40, around that time, felt like a summer across many areas, like as in it felt like a little summer season. I was thinking about like my relationship with Sam. It was a lovely year. Like, I don't know particularly why. It just felt like things felt really good. Felt like things were good with the children. Work felt established. I was nowhere near doing the book at that point, but there was a lot that felt like I was past the baby steps of the business. The boys were at a really great point. It was just before COVID. This was literally just before, actually. COVID was just after my 40th, but well, it'd begun, but not at the point that it was affecting us here in the UK. And I think I felt like maybe that's even more why I'm thinking about it as a summer, because we had such a big life shift so quickly afterwards. And it felt like a lovely moment of a lot of celebrating and a lot of lovely experiences that all felt like things were culminating and coming together. So that's one that comes to mind immediately. And I do think about that. If I look at photos from that year, I do think, oh, that was special. Not that the rest isn't, but let's just be honest, that was special. More special than other years that you think that year can get in the bin.
No comment.
No comment on which years those might be. So after summer comes autumn. And autumn, I've called that the season of harvest and reflection. Not literal harvest, because I wouldn't know how to do that. But it's when it's like a bridging season. You know that you are just over the peak of the summer. You're over the peak of this is all, riding high, and you're stepping back, reaping the rewards of your work. So in the house scenario, you're now sitting in your lounge, the renovation's done, you're reflecting on everything you've done and you're enjoying what you've made. In your parenting, it might be the teen years, so you're well established, you've put that early work in, and now those your children are becoming increasingly independent. You can see the return on the investment. All that foundation work's bearing the fruit. You might be in a point in your career where things feel really solid. You've got a reputation for what you do. People come to you for mentoring maybe. You're starting to find yourself in a season of not just your own growth and stuff, but you're beginning to invest more in other people and their growth. Maybe you feel like you're in a bit of a season of mastery in what you're doing. I think also it can be a time of gratitude, reflecting on all the achievements you've had, or that lovely time. You step back and enjoy the view. But this is the thing about autumn. The thing about autumn is that you can sense that change is coming. A bit of a wind of change, that something new might be on the horizon. And it's slightly like you're not yet in the I'm not doing this previous thing anymore, but you know that you can't quite go back to that. And the heyday has probably tapped out, but you're not yet at all aware of what the new thing is, and you haven't let go of it yet. So I've kind of written in the book, it's like you're basking in those final rays of the summer, but it's a bridge, and you know it's a necessary evaluation point. Reflection, you're assessing what's worked, you're refining what might be coming. There might be a bit of nostalgia because of this inevitability of change. I've definitely felt that in this last couple of years with like the children going to uni. Yeah. It's not quite empty nest, but it's not going to be all living full-time together. Yeah. So I'm kind of in the autumn of my parenting. I know, that's a thought.
Really sad.
Isn't it?
But not fully sad.
But not fully sad. Let's hope. But you are aware, and even Jude was reflecting on this with going to uni. He said to me, because our eldest son is now post-uni and got a full-time job and lives away, is about to move away, he said, I'm never going to live full-time with Noah again. And that's an autumn. It's like, it's not over. They're still siblings. They still will sleep under the same roof as one another again. But the summer day of that experience,
it will never be the same.
It will never be that again. And I think that's what autumn feels like. There's an inevitability of change, a winding down from what you've had, but it's not the ending yet. It's the shift. You might consolidate lessons. It is really beautiful. Like, I actually think autumn's so beautiful. Yeah. I love the colours.
Me too.
But you do know winter's on the horizon. And some days feel really wintry, don't they, in autumn? Yeah. And you just feel the presence of it. And I think it's this preparing you for what's to follow. Can you think of an autumn? I know it's a bit of a sad thought. Well, not totally sad.
No, probably the same as Jude, to be honest. When I got married last year and then moved out to live with my husband. And we had just lost my dad, so that was another kind of change. But it was, I mean, I still kind of feel autumnal about it now, of like, it literally is never going to be the same again. And that, I think that takes a while to come to terms with, because I love living with my husband, but I also love living with my family, and both are good. They're just different and obviously necessary. But I think there's been a lot of like, oh my word, this will, like, I look back on at my camera roll and think that will never happen again, or
no, not like that,
not like it has been. And it is actually a massive thing, a massive change to get used to.
Totally. But the problem is with a lot of us, if we don't let ourselves transition to winter, which we're about to talk about, which I've called the season of letting go, rest, and it could be letting go, it could be resting, it could be like a time of renewal, giving yourself what you need. If we don't let that come, we can't go back round to the next spring, because if we just talk about it for me as a parent, if I keep clinging on and being nostalgic, if I don't move into that like letting go, I can't gain in-laws, which will one day come. I can't gain grandchildren, which will one day come. Not yet. I'm not quite ready for that, but that will happen one day. And that's a whole new thing that you can't ever get if the other doesn't have to come first.
Yeah.
Winter season can be really hard. It's a time when things feel really bleak. Nothing, it just looks bare, nothing's happening, things are dying. It doesn't look like a season of hope. It's dark, it's flipping cold, it's when you get up in the morning it's dark, when you go to bed at night it's dark. It's what's literally happening right now as we're listening. So if people listen to this on their commute, they're probably in the dark, and thinking about when am I going to see the sunlight again. And if you live in countries like Norway and Iceland, you're like having the tiny short day right now, and that is mentally hard because you just feel like everything is letting go. And in our metaphorical seasons of actual life, this is that time when you have to let stuff go. You don't want to, but you know you're going to have to. And it could be an actual grief. It could be the letting go of a person, the letting go of a relationship that you've had that's come to an end. In your house analogy, my house analogy, it would be when you're knocking the house down before you've built any foundations. It's that point where you have to knock it down in order to start, and it always has to look worse before it gets better. But you can't build a house on top of a house. I don't think you can anyway. That wouldn't be a very good idea. It's when everything you've known is gone. It is a proper end of what has taken place. It's an ending. And it's when I think this is when people are grieving, and I'm using that word more broadly than just grief of the death of someone. It is the death of a season. It's the death of a period of your life. It's the death of a relationship, the death of a career. It's the end of something, and you know you have got to let it go, which can also be coupled, obviously, with something new coming. But my children going to uni and the few years that are coming in the next 5, I've got to let them go to become fully fledged adults. And that is a full letting go of what we had before. But it isn't like, at the time it can feel very, very bleak. But of course, that is not the whole story. Yeah. And that is not the whole story of winter. But I think often we're mourning what it could look like, what we would hoped it to be. And it's a time when we can feel, I've written down in the book, untethered and unsure. It could be empty nest. You feel like spring is really far away. At the beginning of winter, although it's only 3 more months, it can feel like this long stretch ahead of when is something ever going to get better. And I know on the 21st of December, my sister and I always send each other a text and go, it's up from here, because that's the shortest day. And so the 22nd of December, you start to get a little bit more sunlight. It's like that's the switch. Sadly, it's something like the 21st of June, I think, where the opposite happens, where you've had the longest day and then it's all downhill from there. So I'll say that to you next year as well, if you like.
Thank you so much.
At Christmas, on the 21st of December, you're like, right, okay, every day we gain a bit, every day we gain a bit. And although you don't feel like you do, suddenly you go, gosh, I've gone to the park and it's not dark. Yeah. And you see, that day comes and you go, oh, I've got home from work and I can still see the sunlight. And something is changing. But you can feel like everything is letting go, everything's missing out. And I think the other thing I talk about in the book is you can feel like everyone else is in a spring or a summer. Yeah. That can be, if it's your real life, you start to look at everything going on for everybody else and think there's nobody else letting go. Everyone else is celebrating, gaining, riding high, getting promoted. But it's the thing, before you share what your winter examples are, because I'd love to hear them, it's the time when it feels very barren. But in real life, in winter, the soil's resting and preparing for what's coming, and it can't grow anything new if the leaves don't come to the ground, if the seeds don't fall to the ground, if they don't then plant into that ground and wait and then start to grow down there and germinating, nothing can come up in spring because there'll be nothing there to come. And I think the other thing winter can do is it can strip away all the distraction of busyness and success and all the happy stuff to actually make us recenter and think, right, what do I want the next season to look like? It's a really positive time where we have to confront what's going on in ourselves. And that gives us the clarity and courage to think about what might come next. And again, we can't do that so easily when we're still in heyday. It's quite difficult to prepare for the next summer when you're in summer. You've got to kind of have that clarity of thought and that stepping back of what have I let go of and what do I want this to look like? What do you think about winters?
Don't really like them.
No, not easy.
I mean, an obvious winter is the loss of my dad last year. And I think you're right. Earlier you were saying that you can have a winter in one part of your life and then actually a different season in another. And I really feel like that. And I think I'll probably be in a perpetual winter for the rest of my life in the loss of my dad. Yeah. That's not something that goes away or subsides ever.
No.
And I think I've probably come to accept that. And actually the grief is love that just has nowhere to go. And that's okay, because I really love my dad and I'm okay to grieve him for the rest of my life. That's actually okay with me. So that probably will be feel like a winter for a very long time. And it has thrown up all the things that you've said, like even identity and who am I and will I ever feel better about this again? And but in other aspects of my life, like with work and friendships and, you know, with my family and my husband, life feels different and like I'm in different seasons. So it can feel like a lot, having so many things in my mind at the same time and feelings about how I feel at the same time. But actually I do think that's just life, isn't it? And
totally.
Yeah.
We felt like we were in a similar winter time, which was when Sam's dad died, which was a decade ago now. And it was around that time, actually, that other coinciding winters happened. So rather than it being that bit of life was a celebration, we actually felt like it was time for us both for a change of work. And Sam felt like he needed to leave work before knowing what he was going to go to. So that felt really wintry. Like, what are we going to actually do? Like, you know, naturally, financially. And you can start to feel, if you're listening to this and you're in that kind of season, you do feel a bit overlooked. You just do. You feel like you can start to see things on the horizon for other people. And I remember us feeling like, what about us? I probably felt that more than Sam because he's more pragmatic. But it felt like we were experiencing loss. It felt like we were experiencing financial hardship. We hadn't got a clear idea around purpose. I was also leaving my work. That was when my mum got a Parkinson's diagnosis, and my whole, like my sister, my mum and my dad, over that next year all moved away. So that was another type of loss because we'd all geographically lived near. And I just felt like, oh my gosh, you know, everything was being upended and all I could see was that perpetual winter feeling, which of course, you know, with the benefit of hindsight, you realise you have to trudge through those days in order to experience the other things. And you can't, also you can't have a summer if you don't have in terms of grief, if you've never had a summer, you can't, hang on, let me try and phrase this differently. Your winter and summer are like connected to one another, because if you weren't grieving the loss of your dad, or I wasn't grieving the loss of my mom, then it means we've never had a summer with them. Yeah. That's what it means, because it's a gift to feel like that, because if I didn't feel like that, it would mean that I'd never had a summer. So you kind of have to, all of us, if you're sad something's come to an end, that's also a really good thing, because it means you were glad you had it. Whereas if we don't feel like that, we're never really having summers either.
I know. And
I know, I'm not meaning that in a glib way. It's factual. If you didn't feel sad now, it would mean there was a different kind of complication.
Yeah. And actually, I do think it makes the summers of your life feel sweeter.
Yes.
In a really roundabout, weird, hard way. Because I'm finding I so appreciate the simple things, the like really, really small things of life now, because you've seen the depths of how bad things can be, that the summers are much simpler, and you appreciate them just so much more. And
I think with that, you know, for the sake of people listening, because the point of this podcast is for you to feel seen and heard, you might be listening to this and you're looking out the window of your car and it's pitch black and you feel like life feels like you're either on the cusp of a winter or you're in one, and you just think, I don't know where this is ever going to come to an end. I think my encouragement to you is just to hold on, not to do nothing, and not in a passive way, but you know, I always think of, this is so ridiculous, but Florence and the Machine, and she always says it's always darkest before the dawn, and it's true. It is, the darkest moment is before dawn comes, and if you feel like that right now, I'm really sorry that you do, but at the same time, Spring is coming. There are some things you can do. One of them is to take really good stock of what's happening right now. What did you love about previous seasons that you want to carry into a new spring and a new summer? What do you want to leave behind and not take with you? How can you be rebuilding and renewing yourself and allowing yourself the comfort of what comes in winter, which is it's the time when you do get comforted. You don't get comforted if you aren't in winter either. You get wrapped up, you get looked after, you get loved. That's a special thing that comes with letting go. Who can love and comfort you, and how can you comfort yourself? I think that's some of the stuff I'd say. And just make sure you're identifying your season. I'm going to read a couple of questions out from the book. Which season of life do you feel most aligned with right now? Or do you feel like different seasons apply to different parts of your life? Can you identify any shifts or events in your life that have caused you to feel like you're in a season? What aspects of your current season are challenging for you? And what are the opportunities they present for growth? What part of you is being rebuilt and renewed in this season? What new opportunities or possibilities could emerge from the challenges you're facing right now? And I think we should probably sign off at this point because we could talk about it for ages. But I hope this conversation around seasons has given you some things to reflect upon. You can read about this in full in the book and so much more that kind of helps you ground where you are and be kind to yourself and understand it's great to be in summer and I love it. It's great to be in spring. It's great to be in autumn. And winter may be hard, but it is necessary for everything that's coming for you because you can have a spring again. Take care. Bye-bye.